Okay, somebody asked about the roof tool and modeling the roof and so forth and so such. Here are 1.5" details, wall sections of a very small project. And here are the details. Okay, you can see I've got my top plates in, my headers, beadboard, the plywood for the roof, and also the metal roofing. Existing roofing is in the back. Okay, now how much of this is 3D? How much of this is 2D? Well, if you look below here, this is the 3D viewport. This is all the 2D stuff that I have pulled off. Let's just go through the 2D stuff. That's in the annotation layer. You know, obviously dimensions, the lines for my plywood on my roof, the lines for my plywood in my wall. This is a very small project, and every project I do, I experiment with more and more 3D. Okay, and I have a window section from the manufacturer to get exactly what I want and so forth. Okay, now the 3D environment, the foundation is an extrude with the push-pull tool. I don't use the wall tool because I want to have different shapes in it. The floor framing is the joist tool. Yeah, in this project I just experimented with some simple extrudes and got some 3D insulation spray foam. First time I did that, just experimenting with it. Subfloor, finish floor, trim, sill, plate, sill the window, plywood, and header, ceiling, it's all 3D. The insulation, the roof is 3D. And this here is the roof tool, but I only use the roof tool to get me the top sheathing. That's it. All the rest of this trim is just modeled in all push-pull tool, just simple extrudes. I'll show you. I have all these different layers to keep everything separate. I have you know, a roof trim layer where I just come in and I just model it the way I want to model it. You know, once I get one side right, I just flip it over to the other side. Okay, here's my roof layer, and as you can see, it's just the roof tool, and it's just used for 3/4 inch plywood. That's all I'm using it for. I have here my roof framing. Okay, again, it looks like a lot, but really it's only a few components duplicated and then mirrored over to the other side. I mean, it really is not that big of a deal. These are just simple extrudes. I'm not using any type of member tool or anything like that. Simple extrudes. The repetitive stuff is a symbol. All my trim and my siding. Okay, my siding, that's just extruded planes. Using the push-pull tool, a little bit of drip cap. These are parametric windows that I just popped into place. Okay, and again, once you get one side done, you mirror it over to the other side. Piece of cake. Okay, there's my ceiling. That represents the wood trim on the inside. That represents the beadboard on the inside. Okay, I have a layer here for all my interior trim. Okay, trim and beadboard here, beadboard there. They're just flat panels of extrusions. I have a layer called plywood, which is my subfloor, and I just put these plates on there as a bit of a reference point when I'm making a detail. I know where my plates are. I have a framing layer where I put in all my key framing, like headers and top plates, and I put in my plywood. It seems like a bit overkill. I do this because on these very small porches and stuff, there's really not a lot of structure. So you want to understand how our plywood overlaps and whatever. And again, once you get one side done, you just mirror it over to the other side. It's really no big deal. Okay, and this is something I did for the first time, is I just modeled some extrudes for my insulation. You can see I didn't insulate everything. I only did it where my details show. Just wanted to see how it would work. It wasn't that bad. Once you make one, you just duplicate it. And of course we have our floor framing. The plates are just simple extrudes. These are the joist tool, whatever you call it. All right, and that harmonizes with our foundation, which has various cuts and doodads. All right. And of course, the ever important grade line, the scribe line goes around here, shows where my grade is going around the building. The advantages of all that modeling is it's used everywhere. I have a white model. I have details. I have interior elevations, exterior elevations. If you're looking for a viewport that shows detail, you're going to have to dispense with the parametric tools. Only use them in very basic shapes.